Test 1, 2. Microphone should all be working. Meanwhile, Ramon selected Madness to play. That's okay. I guess it's fine. So yeah, the volume on this one is particularly low. Increase it a little bit. So Facebook, why the hell isn't Facebook working? I think it's not working. Maybe it is working. And I just no, it's not on the page. Okay, let's try another key. Because Facebook fucking sucks. That's why. So set inactive on scene set. Change republisher. Back, set live, yes. Share this. Of course, when you select the page you want to stream to, it changes the key. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? So after you configure everything, you have to configure it again. Okay, so now it should be active. It should be working. But of course it's not. Check settings. Well, it's working on YouTube, that's good. Thank you, Eve. But it's not working on Facebook yet. Well, maybe it is on SceneSet if I can figure out where to test this. Let's stop it and start it again. See if this solves it. Come on, Facebook, just work. Watch the video streams. Okay, so it worked briefly and then it stopped. On SceneSet, so the only problem is with Facebook. The key is properly selected though, so this makes no sense. Try deactivating and activating again. Nope, still nothing. So I think I'm going to say fuck you to nope, still nothing. But now I hear myself. That's usually a good sign. I think I'm going to say fuck you to still. Okay, so now it's working. Nothing like saying fuck you to Facebook.
I think I'm gonna say fuck you to
Okay. Okay, so it's working on Facebook. Let's leave this to avoid the echo. I'm gonna call the rest of the guys. If they pick up.
Hey there.
Hey. We're already streaming, so beware.
Okay.
Missing Gaspode.
Hi there.
Hey Ramon, we are already streaming, so be aware of that. If you guys want to check out the Twitch, make sure to mute or pause so you don't hear echoes. s02e11 is asking the name of this demo that's currently playing. This was Menace from Desire. And now we are going back to the default playlists, which is mostly stuff from The Decadence, 25 Years, Demo Party, and Deadline. Buffering again, that's not good. What I can do is change the restreamer, not dropping frames, so it's probably restream that's fucking up. So I will try to change that. So I think right now I'm sending to the Madrid streamer, and I can send to another one. Like, I don't know, London? Amsterdam? Let's try London. Okay, so I have to stop the stream for a little bit, so be right back, guys. Okay, we should be back, I hope. Let me check out on Twitch real quick.
Not yet.
Okay, maybe I need to stop. Yes. Okay, now we should be back. Yeah, missing Gaspode on the call. Let's check out Twitch. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so let me know if it's any better or any worse. There are other alternatives if it's still lagging a bit. Meanwhile, I will go to the social networks and spam that we are playing. Okay, yeah. Let's also go on Twitter. And IRC. Pico 8 world domination.
This looks quite good, and actually this demo had this texture mapped object, like, you know, this pyramid or something that looked very cool. Oh, and this landscape.
Yeah, reinventing 3D.
Yeah. And pretty nice graphics there. It's my favorite Pico 8 demo from the last month.
Okay, I guess Facebook. I wonder if Facebook stream fucked up. It seems to still be working. Okay, that's good. That's rare, but good.
Pas op.
These planets look good. It's a bit slow though, but I guess that's the point.
Sorry for my ignorance, but where was this demo shown first time?
Which one? This one playing now?
Yes.
I think it's from Deadline.
Oh. Jeez, I need to catch up because it looks really cool.
Yep.
Wow.
It's not a demo, it's a 4K.
4K.
Oh.
Yep.
4K from Deadline, yeah.
Yeah. Prism Beings world domination. Taking the world by storm.
This looks so slick.
Yep. Putting the volume louder. Yeah, this doesn't look like a 4K at all. Or sounds. Sound is so good. There were a lot of 4K entries at Deadline, and all of them quite good. worlds were colliding. Okay. Nice, very nice stuff.
Balls touching.
Yeah, Deadline 4K compo seems to have been really good. A lot of entries and all of them pretty good quality. We're missing Gaspode. Let me poke him, see if he picks up. A wild Gaspode suddenly appears.
Juhu.
Das ist jetzt der Fall. So how many countries are here tonight? Spain, I think. Germany. Nothing else. Holland. Okay.
Yeah.
Slovakia.
Wow.
Portugal. We have Finnish people as well. Does Ferris count as Norwegian or as American? It's Norwegian, I guess.
Hungarian.
So this is another 4K from that line. It's called Visit Berlin, and indeed it sounds a lot like Berlin techno.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Meteorics next year in the category of 4K, because I think this is the year of 4Ks. It's so massive, so many 4Ks.
Yeah, the quality has been really great. Like already last year we had a lot of very good 4Ks, but this year it's just been ridiculous so far.
Why is it so hard to understand you? It sounds strange.
You're not hearing me well?
Yeah, now I'm hearing you well, but
okay.
Before and it sounds a lot of like a robot.
Okay. Maybe
well,
it was just a 4K demo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I was clipping. It might have been as well. Maybe reduce a little bit.
Yeah. And another 4K. I think with music by Virgil.
Yep, that's true.
No, Fel, you are not late. You arrived just on time. We haven't started yet. We're still on the pre-show. 15 minutes more of pre-show. Watching stuff from that line right now. A lot of good 4Ks.
Philip, you had Evil on the show a few back, right?
Yeah,
this was actually his third 4K he did in the demo scene.
Mm-hmm. And the music here is by Virgil as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like all other 4Ks this year. Virgil is sick. He's making so many tunes. It's awesome.
Dascon also been making music for 4Ks lately. But yeah, we need more 4K musicians for sure. Oh, Evil is saying RIP stream, did it die? I hope not.
No, it works fine here.
Let me check real quick. Nope, it's working, so it's your internet. There are too many evils on the demo scene. are too many sceners called Evil. There are at least 3 that I know of. There's Atari Demoscene called Evil, there is the Evil that I interviewed, and there's the Evil from Portugal, which is an old Amiga scener. So at least 3 Amiga sceners called Evil. Or 3 demo sceners, not Amiga.
Strange with your voice. I don't know, but
well, I'm evil bot again.
Yeah, you're evil bot. But when you talk slowly, it's okay, and when you start faster, it's like little bit, you know.
Okay.
But it's okay.
Let's try to do short sentences.
Yeah. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
No. Scheiße.
I don't sound like a bot at all.
Learn to be a demo scener with a few words. Amiga, Scheiße.
Boss Mac.
My wife called from the kitchen and said, Johann, ein Bier.
Evil's internet died, apparently.
Yeah.
It's another 4K from Deadline. This one is by Paraguay. So probably programmed by Rimina. Looks pretty good.
What is second place or third place?
Was it? Let me check the results. No, first place was Wei Li from Prism Beings, the planet thing that we saw. Second place was
Yes.
Visit Berlin.
Oh yeah, Visit Berlin, yes.
And the third place was Captain Longbow's Recursive Sex Ship, which we also saw, the one from Evil. Then there's something with the Japanese characters by EOS, which there is no YouTube of, so we can't play it right now. And so this one, Back to the Roots, got 5th place. But I mean, the quality on this compo is so ridiculous.
Bring something.
Oh, it's called Osakura? Okay.
Ja, natürlich. Hi.
And this is the quad trip entry for the 4K compo. Which is quite trippy.
Oh, this looks like shrimps.
Nobody's saying the music is broken. No, it's perfect! It's annoying like hell, so it does its job perfectly. Oh wait, nobody actually did the music, so it really is broken. The world needs more tunnel effects, it's important. Now also with feedback. Yeah, the soundtrack is completely annoying. Acid is back. Well, Saga Music's on IRCnet noticed that I was mentioning that there are a lot of evils on the Demoscene, so we actually queried Demozoo for what were the most used handles, and apparently there are 51 mics on the Demoscene and 44 aces. So those are the two highest. I'll post the line on the chat so you guys can see it as well. Curiously enough, not that many of these nicks are in use this day. I mean, I know some Alexes which are still active, but been a while since I've seen a Cobra active on a Demoscene release.
Perhaps we should all change our nicks now.
Yeah. I will change my nickname to Hawk, which is one on the list.
I will change it to Shadow Cobra.
Yeah, we can do combinations of those nicks.
Oh, Shadow, and my group name is Cobra.
Merlin Ice. It sounds like the 90s.
Yeah,
Merlin Ice.
Cobra is like 80s.
Cobra Ace.
I will call myself Cobra 39.
Andy Hawk. Andy Hawk would be a nice nick. Yeah. So
perhaps we should make a tool like a scenator where you can edit your original name and you get a scene name created on the fly.
If your name starts with L, then
finally coming up with interesting tools for the Demoscene. Important tools even. Okay, so 5 more minutes to go until we start the official show. If anyone has any specific questions for our guests, feel free to ask them and I will note them down somewhere. Or if you have any topics we would like to discuss in particular. Citrus apparently is lightly pleased, according to Ferris. And according to his face.
Well,
the pizza was good, I guess.
Yes, the pizza was great. Oh, and I have this national drink Coppola here, which is really good, and you should try it once when in Slovakia.
Next demo bit.
Yes.
So how's the organizing for demo bit going, Citrus?
Well, I think it's going well. Honestly, I have no idea, but we know that it will be like happening next year in February, on the start of February. So right now we are speaking with Mali and Zden about some competitions, and it looks that we will have a bit more competitions than last year, but it's a matter of change, so it's still not set in stone. But yeah, the plans are going forward, and we'll have demo bit on 2nd of February next year, so be there.
Well, I don't like that it's in the cold, but also your webcam froze. So that's really what Ferris was complaining about, yeah. So you should try turning it off and on again, I guess.
Yes, maybe that's a good idea.
And it froze again. Now it's working. Now it's working. Don't touch it. It's working fine.
Hands off.
The only bad part I have about Demobit is that it's in the winter. I mean, I go to Slovakia during the winter time. It's too fucking cold. I thought I was done with the demo parties in the cold when I left Finland, but
and it's normal here. Like it wasn't that cold.
You should have heard the other two Portuguese people complaining. They're like, "Oh, this is so fucking cold." Like, what? This is like -2, -3. It's completely bearable.
Or 5, or something like that. But actually, the problem was that the wind was blowing like pretty hard.
Yep.
And I remember this guy from Finland, I think he went out to have a cigarette and he was like, Jesus fucking Christ, it's so fucking cold that I'm freezing my ass off here and it's even hotter in Finland than here.
Global warming that never works when you want it to.
Yes.
This is a very nice demo, or is it a 4K? I don't know.
I think it's a demo, yeah.
Really nice effect.
From this
and the crowd gathered at Cookie, so I guess it's an invitation for the Cookie demo party in in Paris, which is the follow-up to Demo.js, I guess. They just renamed it to Cookie.
Cookie demo party. By the way, from this demo, I just remembered Reptiles, the FOC release. From Function to 2016, I think.
It's like almost a Christmas cookie, but with hearts. Or a Christmas tree, I mean. This is confusing. Too many references in the same demo. I don't like this. This is too complicated. Anyways, it is now 9.
And generic background.
Generic backgrounds are always important. It's now 9, so it's good. It's good that the playlist got stuck because we can start the show. So welcome everyone to Mystery Demoscene Theater 9000 Season 2 Episode 11. Today with me we have 3 guests as usual. We have Citrus of Aberration Creations. We have Gaspode from Gaspode. You don't have any groups. You should get a group. You're in group.
My group is Gaspode.
You're in group Gaspode. Okay. Do you have any other members in group Gaspode right now, or is it? Well, we have. Do you have names for the socks?
I'm Gaspode in the group Gaspode.
Do you have names for the socks? You could make them join your group.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I will think about it. Perhaps I will. One will call Shadow, and the other.
Nice.
That's a nice one.
Something like this, yeah.
And third guest we have Ramon of Desire. How are you doing, Ramon? All good?
I'm good. I'm good.
So, starting up, I guess we'll start with Citrus, starting from the left. So, Citrus, tell me, how did you get into the demo scene?
Well, it actually has quite a concrete story, but long story short, I was very, very heartbroken for a girl. And of course, I started to brag to people that yes, I will learn C++. It was really like a long time ago. I will learn C++ and write her a virus, and I will send it to her. And while I was bragging, one person actually showed me this Molman 2, which is a documentary movie about the demo scene made by Hungarians. Yeah, so I just watched that movie and I was like, oh shit, this can actually be made with the computers, and I was sold when I saw this exact demo intro, actually Chaos Theory by Conspiracy. It was like, just I just want to do this.
I found fascinating that it was actually the documentary that brought new demo sceners in, so that it was a really good outreach thing that people actually made documentaries about it. Because we always have this idea that when you make documentaries about the demo scene or videos about the demo scene, only demo sceners see them. But no, that's not true, and you're living proof of it.
Yes, fair enough. But as I said, it was kind of like this. This one person sent it to me because she actually saw that I maybe can do something more than just wasting my time. And well, I waste my time anyways, but still, actually, at least I started to make some engines and frameworks and not demos. I know, shame on me. And yeah, so basically this intro was the first thing I saw, and I was sold from that moment on. But actually I got into the demo scene like 3 years ago only, and I saw the moment too, like in 2011. But I have no idea why I waited for so long to get inside the demo scene, because it's like 3 or 4 years of doing nothing, just observing the demo scene and trying to write some engine. But
did you go to the demo parties while you were?
No, actually
okay.
No. Actually, I didn't. But this impulse came from Boise, because and he's still my idol or something like that.
Your mentor.
Yes, but actually my mentor is Reptile, but that's another story. So basically, Boise wrote me like a week before revision 2014 or 15, I have no idea, that, oh, we have one place like in a car, and if you want to come, you seem like a okay guy, so you can come. And I was like, oh Jesus Christ, my fucking idol just wrote me that I can go with him to a demo party. So this was the moment that, okay, shit, it got real and I need to go there. So basically that's it.
If your idol is inviting you to go to the demo party, you go to the demo party.
Yes, you know, it's something like these religious people has like, God spoke to me that I should go there and you should go there. It's like, no bullshit, you need to do that.
Okay, so that was your first demo party, revision. What year was this? 2016?
No, 2015, I think.
15? Okay.
Yes, 2015, yes. It had this invitation, this gold glitter with this rocket. I think it's 2015.
Okay, yeah. And then after this, you finally decided to start doing stuff, and you made your first demo, and your first demo is called Inaugural. Is this true?
Yes,
is this correct?
It's true. It's called Inaugural, but actually it's kind of my second demo, because the first one I started to do on revision, because when my idol tells me that I should go, then I should bring a demo with me, right? Mm-hmm. But you know, shit happens all the time, and I managed to pour a bottle of Monster over my MacBook, so my first demo actually got lost in the abyss of zeros and ones, because
that's a great excuse. That's a great excuse to not release your shitty first demo. I wish I had a similar excuse like that.
Yeah, yeah, but it actually really happened. Ask Musk or anybody from Hungarian, they will tell you it's true. So basically, my first demo like got finished. Well, we didn't finish; we just released it yet. So it got released on QB Party, a demo party, like a month later, usually after revision. And it's a small Hungarian but quite cool party. You should visit that one too. So yeah, that was my first demo, and we used OpenGL, and a fun fact, this is our only OpenGL demo, or OpenGL anything so far, because this was the moment when I told myself that, no, this is bullshit, and I'm going like DirectX, or actually try to DirectX. Oh yeah, and this intro had this party arc, which is, or demo, sorry, not intro. This party arc, it's actually a pun in Hungarian, because arc, like arts, means face, so party face.
Okay.
Yeah, so weird like language puns and stuff. And the second thing on this demo is really funny, that soon there will be text, or maybe there is text, and the text has this really nice reflections underneath. I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but if you look really closely, then there is this text on this blur or something like that.
Not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube?
No.
Well, then
at least I didn't see it.
So
and this is why people should watch the demos on real hardware, so that they notice these details.
Yes.
But
yeah,
go on.
It was actually completely by mistake because we managed to screw up some orders, OpenGL draw commands, but it looked really cool.
Okay, so that was the last demo you made with OpenGL. You realized it was crap, and you were making engines at this point more than actual effects. So
yes.
Why engines? Why not just scenes and stuff? You just felt like doing that? What was the idea behind it?
The idea behind writing engines and me, it's like I don't have this. I have no idea how it's called, but this feeling for beauty, or designer skill, or I don't know how to call it. But when I put something into the scene, it looks ugly. But
it's called colder colors.
No, but I mean, come on, Musk, my friend, he actually like puts something in the scene and it looks amazing. And this is like, when I put something in the scene, it looks ugly. And he's a coder too. So, I don't know, it's like, I don't have the these designer skills to make demos, and actually I don't know, but I feel more secure or something like that when I'm doing frameworks, because, you know, nobody sees that until it crashes.
Well, I mean, if it works, that's what matters. I mean, lots of teams do like that. One coder is more focused on the engine, and the other one more trying to do something with the engine to push it forward.
Maybe the second thing is that I always wanted to make a demo tool, not because of doing a demo tool, but mainly for the reason that from the point of view I see the demo tools, it enables you to do some stuff really quickly. And you don't
there are already so many demo tools around. Why did you make yet another demo tool?
For the challenge.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's like when somebody builds something and you want to like be cocky with what somebody else did, someone else did, then you're not really getting the proper credit. It's like, you know, like basically
I did this, but most of it was someone else's work, so it's not really mine. It's just 25% mine.
Yes, exactly. And you know, actually this demo, which is going right now, it was our first like really serious engine. Of course it had its flaws and everything, but when I saw this demo running on the big screen, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I think a bit later we will have another demo of mine, actually the next one in the queue, and that one was even better, and we got this really cool soundtrack from Ferris, and thank you very much, man, much appreciated. And I really hope that we can get some more cool stuff from him in the future, but anyways, we will get there. But yeah, we did this engine, and when I saw it the first time running, and it didn't crash, and it was just, it felt so good to see
when I saw it running and it didn't crash.
Yes.
So for an engine coder, this is important, that it runs and it doesn't crash. After you seeing something crash for 500 times, debugging all that shit, it doesn't crash, it's a miracle.
Yes, but you know, actually, this is a funny thing on the engines, that there is not one single point of failure, because, for example, we had multiple points just from asset importer, like async library, because I don't know if you spotted, but in this terabyte demo, there was this tunnel, and it completely screwed up the geometry. So actually, it had some really bad bugs, which we were able to kind of fix it on place, on revision, like 2 hours before the deadline, 2 hours after the deadline, actually. So yeah, and we were really happy that it didn't crash, because sometimes it did. It was so random. So yeah. to see your engine running without a crash, it's really something.
Evil bot approves.
Yeah. Oh yes, and this was the demo where we learned that flashes are a bit weird to synchronize for, because we wanted to flash more than 60 times per second, which we
like strobe.
Yes, like strobe, but we realized that we can only draw 60 frames, so it doesn't work, because if you want to flash, you need to like switch the frames like one another.
Yeah, otherwise it just looks gray instead of white.
Yeah. Yes, but still, it like it backfired horribly, and it looks really ugly. But anyways, this is the demo I'm most proud of. And it looks just amazing.
When I saw this for the first time, I was like, "Whoa, this looks pretty cool. I guess this is Ferris code." And then I checked the credits. No, wait, this isn't Ferris. Ferris just made the soundtrack for this.
This is Ferris music.
Yeah.
And the code is basically it's mine and Musk's. And Musk did. Oh, Twitch stopped for a second. So Musk actually did the scenes in Blender. And when he showed me the scenes in Blender, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you want to like win something with this? And then we just put it inside Minerva, our engine, and it's like, Jesus Christ, it looks so good. So, yeah.
So it's all on the post-processing. So tell me about the shadows and stuff you have here. Is it all pre-baked, or do you have...
It's pre-baked.
No ambient occlusion and stuff like that?
Well, everything is pre-baked, and actually this ribbon, which you see here, it's actually just a cube, which, well, it started like a cube, and it just...
yeah, it is missing the shadows of the ribbons, yeah.
It actually just scales like ad nauseam. But it looks really cool if you look on it.
Yeah, yeah.
This...
Oh, so how did you end up as an organizer of Demobit?
Well, it started in a way that when I came back from my first revision, I was like, you know, feeling empty and stuff. And I don't think I'm alone here. So I just asked on Poet that if there is any Slovakian Demoscener, and actually, I think Gargay told me that, oh, there is one guy called Ben, and you should probably like ping him. So I did, and we started to talk about the demo scene, and he was like, oh, we should really make a demo beat again. And it was like, okay, it sounds like a great idea, and you know, to like revitalize the demo scene in Slovakia, it would be really cool, because actually right now, as we're speaking, from the new school Demosceners, I think it's just me and Sten. I don't know any other Demosceners in Slovakia which is new school, active or inactive. So it would be really cool if we could get more sceners on the bandwagon. Because, for example, in Hungary, there are really like a ton of sceners, or in Finland, Sweden, Norway, Germany. So
playback on other websites has been disabled by the video owner. So whoever owns Aberration Creations PC demo is silly. Let's play Solitude by Aberration Creations instead.
Oh. Aberration Creations PC demo is down?
Yep.
Oh, it shouldn't be.
You probably have a switch there that says that you can only play it inside YouTube. So I don't know.
Oh, so
doesn't allow embed.
Being Gargashek? I don't know. He doesn't seem to be on Facebook. Anyways, whatever. Actually, pity, because this PC demo was actually a wild demo which we did with Argashik. And it was actually kind of, it started as a mockery on the creator of this particular demo, because we actually had a bit of a misunderstanding, and the demo itself, it's not bad, it's really cool, and later I found myself to really like this demo. But when we did this demo, and a few days after, I was having like this hard time like seeing something which we didn't had in mind, and this demo looked like just, you know, like an IKEA catalog. So we did, so we went with Argashek to IKEA, and we just took out the camera and did some shots and put together a PC demo, because as you can see, for example, there are teapots or the cups, and we actually found all these assets in IKEA as well. So we just did a demo about it.
Okay. What about this one, Solitude?
This one is actually was made by a girl called Leila. She's from Slovakia. She's a graphician, and actually this is made with our engine as well. But mostly it was the work of Musk and Laila. Musk did some post-processing, and Laila did all the modeling, and I just did some engine fixing because of Blender.
There are always bugs, yeah.
No, actually, this one is a bug of Blender, because when we used Blender with hierarchical animations, so for example, like one object had a child, and the object had a child, and when every object in the hierarchy had animation, then the matrices got like some kind of like broken. We don't know to date like what happened with that, but it just, when you exported Collada file back to Blender, it was just this. So everything was smashed to one plane, and that's it. And that was the only thing I worked on this one. But a fun fact, actually, the music for this demo was supplied by a Slovak drum and bass artist, B-Complex. You could see her name on the screen, and she has a really cool music, so you should check it out. And she's a quite commercial artist. But this song, Solitude, was actually from her like earlier years, so it wasn't copyrighted or something like that.
Yeah, you could use it. Okay.
Yes. So.
Okay. So those are all the demos we have to show from you. So if anyone has any questions in specific for Citrus, please. Do you actually say your name Citrus or Citrus?
Well, it doesn't matter, because every nation calls me like different. It's Citrus, Citrus, Citrus. Don't know. It's like whatever. Just go on. Or if
okay, so if anyone has any questions for Citrus, Citrus, whatever, feel free to ask right now. I was going to ask you what demo you were most proud of, but you already said that it was that invitation for demo bit. So what are you working on next? Just more engine stuff?
Well, actually, I kind of took a break from engines, and I'm working more on my 3D skills right now. It doesn't look that good, but still, I'm learning 3D modeling, and yes, in Blender, I know, shame, but anyways. And with the engines, I'm going to like have a brief stop, and maybe a bit later this year, I will go back and make a demo and not a framework or engine or two.
RP Roni is asking, why do you make so few demos? You should make more.
Yes, we should, and we will. We definitely will.
Okay, so let's move on to our next guest, which is Gaspode. Hello, Gaspode. How are you doing?
Hi. Okay.
So I'm gonna start playing this demo, which is the Cibit Demo 90, and this is because Gaspode, you were aware of the demo scene back in the 90s, right? So how did you join the demo scene? How do you get to know it?
My parents bought me Amiga 2000 in, I don't know, 88 or something like this. And so I started doing stuff and games, of course, playing games all the time. And then a few friends of mine had connections to the scene, I think, and brought a lot of demos. And I saw all the early stuff. Of course, Red Sector was very great, but also something like Flash Productions, early Cryonic, and Royal Amiga Force, all those stuff. It was really, really early for Amiga. And yeah, so I liked all the stuff, but I had no idea what it's about, what could I do to participate in something like this. And I remember a few days ago I found the manual of the Red Sector demo maker, which I bought. I'm such a lamer.
You bought it?
I bought the Red Sector demo maker. So I have to make my own demos without any line of code. And I remember buying.
Did you ever use it? Did you ever make a demo with the demo maker?
Of course, I made a demo with it, but it was never released because I had no. Perhaps I should make a demo and for revision next year for the Amiga combo.
Yeah.
With the Amiga demo maker, that would be something like the music combo with the ST0.
Yeah, that would be nice. Also, the one that is unreleased, you should send it to what is it called? TPOLM, that has the abandoned demo compo. Or was it Nordlix?
The Gravedigger combo by Nordlix.
Yeah, Nordlix. Yeah. So you should you have an entry for Nordlix already for next year.
I don't know if the floppy disks
still working
are already okay after 25 years. I don't know. So okay, my friends brought a lot of demos. I saw them. And the only thing that it was a way for me to participate in this was making music. So I had a friend, and we wrote with Sound Tracker, and then with Noise Tracker, and then of course with Pro Tracker. Songs together, playing, making 2 patterns or 5 patterns, take it to the school and change them, and the other one wrote his 5 patterns. And so we make a lot of music, but never got anywhere because I was young and didn't understand the scene. So,
but you did release a few releases under the Xenox label. Was the demo group?
Friends of, Xenox was a demo group of a few friends of mine, and they heard my music, and some of the music was incorporated, but most of the stuff I think I wrote about 80 pieces at this time, and my friend also, and there were only 4 or 5 released ever. And,
I tried to find a YouTube video of those demos, but unfortunately none of them are captured, so we aren't able to see them. And then you took a break from the demo scene after that?
What?
After those 90s years on Amiga scene, you took a break. Can you tell us a little more about that?
I have to say, I was at the Triacle, some Triacle party, 1991 in Bremen.
Okay.
Where this was a strange experience because they took me in a car. We rode to the party, and I didn't understand nothing. And so I remember at the evening I drove home because I was irritated by all the stuff. But this was my first demo party in 1991, and then I remember I followed the scene till 93 or something, and then I lost a little bit of connection to the scene, and with the almighty internet, I don't know when I first stumbled upon Poet, but I know that I was following streams and demo parties in 2008 or something. There weren't a lot of streams, I think, at the time.
Okay, we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that one of the demos that made you come back to the demo scene was this one, Rupture by ASD. So
I I remember watching this in the live stream, and I was blown away by it. And it's still one of my all-time favorites. This one, because the flow of this is so great. And yeah, I cannot say that there's a one single demo that brought me back. It was like something like this, that I followed the scene for 2-3 years, and then I thought, okay, I have to do something. And I remember I wrote music at this time, and had a piece of music, wanted to entry at the Evoke 2009, I think, but I didn't go there. I don't know why, but I was at home and decided not to go.
Because you were a sofa potato, that's why.
No, no, but 2010,
2010 you did go, and you delivered this awesome piece of modern technology, exploring new platforms on the demo scene, the pasta scene.
I didn't saw this for about 5 years or something. It's very long ago. Only 7 years, okay. And yeah, this was my first entry at Evoke, and I did some 2 mashups, I think, for the main party in 2010. They had a mashup competition for music, and I participated in that, and I think I won a trophy, but I was not there, so I didn't get it. Yeah, and this was Noodle's idea. I had 2 weeks before the party, so yeah, I don't know. It was very crazy to do this.
It has a lot of parts and different ideas, so that's really something to do in only 2 weeks.
Yeah, I bought everything, every noodle I had to get. Perhaps there are still some here, because it was very much I had to buy. And there are so much different types of noodles.
Did you program anything, or was this all stop motion captured?
No, it was not. It wasn't all stop motion. Today, I think I will do it all in stop motion, but I know from Pens that this will take 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, I think, to make it such perfect like this. No, it was partly animation, but everything was photographed and put together in Flash, I think. Yeah, it was put together in Flash. Yeah,
I really love the greetings on this demo that we just saw. Like, all the names have pasta references in them.
It's funny, because nowadays I know Pixter from Still, and I had, I think it was Fustili or something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I have to call quick, because this is only 1 minute long. It was very much candy I had to buy for this, and this is purely stop motion, done on neon backgrounds, and I bought a completely transparent window from a museum, so the typo effects over the backgrounds are already are on.
You had layers.
Yeah, you had layers. They are in front of it, slightly 8 centimeters above, and because the window is so perfect, you cannot see it.
There's a question on the chat asking if this demo is gluten-free.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. Funny thing, at the three at the end part here, I had to put in Photoshop, because we had the numbers and we ate them during the making of this, and then the 3 was missing, and I had to create it, I don't know, from a picture I made earlier. So If you know it, you can see it because the shadow is not like the others. And of course, the music had to be very 90s style. It was very funny to
happy hardcore. Yeah.
And my wife sang the vocals.
This one is an animation that you did for Revision 2014 called Light and Magic, and this is sort of projection mapping.
Yeah, but it's a projection mapping, yes. Yeah, I wanted to do this I had the idea for about 1-2 years to make a projection mapping on an Amiga. And yeah, and interesting, a lot of people said to me, it was done to get votes because I used an Amiga and something like this.
Get the Amiga vote.
Yeah, but in reality, I wasn't sure if someone would like it. I didn't know. And the response, so we are seeing some live video. The response was overwhelming. It was so great to see it on big screen. Yeah, very, very nice.
And you can hear that they are French people speaking, and they're all saying, "Oh, this is pretty good. Oh, yeah, that was good. That was all right. Oh, I like that."
I wonder if it were those French people sitting next to me. We talked about to 5 till the morning about this demo. Maybe there were, I don't know. My own live recording of this is not as good as this one. And yeah, I made. I took a tool like Macromedia Freehand, I think, and on my very old MacBook, and draw every single line of the front of the Amiga by hand. And so I had to work for a week to have the front of the Amiga, and then I transferred it to After Effects and made the whole animation of it. Then I had to project the animation on the Amiga, have to film this and make another video, which showing the projection. And the problem was there were about 2 months between making the Amiga, the first picture of the Amiga and the projection. And I remember I pushed the projector a little bit, and I needed almost a day to put it back in the right position to let the projection fits perfectly.
You didn't have any stretching stuff? Because nowadays for projection mapping you use some tools that allow you to stretch the image a little bit, so you only have to do the corners matching and then it fits everything perfectly. But I guess you were doing a DIY kind of thing.
This one is some people ask me which projector I use for that, and it's a 10-year-old projector with all the dust on this picture right now is inside of the lens because you cannot open it. And the Amiga stood on a chair 1 meter in front of it or something like this, and it was very low end doing something like this.
Yeah, but it worked, and the idea was, the concept was good, so that really helps a lot as well.
Yeah, it was really funny, but it was a lot of work, really a lot of work to do this. And when I filmed it, the problem was that the room was dark and my camera was not good enough to film the projection, and so the quality was getting lower and lower and lower and lower. Yeah, here we are on the sofa potatoes.
Yeah, this was like an ode to all the people who are sofa sceners, who just always stay at home, saying, I'll go to the next demo party, but not this one. This one I have to go feed the cat. And so you came up with this idea that the people who stay on the sofa are potatoes? Was that the concept, or?
There is the word of couch potato.
Yeah.
And the couch potato, yeah. And so I came to the idea that it has to be a potato sitting on a couch singing about not going to any parties. There were a few more of the word plays, but I didn't remember. I didn't incorporate them. I think there was assembly and the answer was no entry or something like this. This was another one of my concepts where I think, how can I do something with very, very little effort? So this whole production only has, I think, 14 or 16 images. So you have the potato, which has about 5 different mouths, and when you get all the 3, there are also these, and you have the part where it's moves to the sides, and I think it's about 15 pictures like this. And I had to, of course, make the sofa, and that was it. It was the hardest part was to synchronize the
to edit the video later
to the music. Yes, and it's bad for me. I never saw this live. Because the concept could only work if I don't visit the party. I wasn't at that line.
This was a remote entry?
Yeah, it has to be a remote entry. You cannot do Southern entry and go to the party. It's against the concept. But I never saw it live, and some people told me it was a really great showing that live. And, yeah, so I missed it.
Yeah, I really liked it. When I was watching this, I was like, yeah, this is completely the embodiment of why I'm too lazy to go to the next demo party that's coming up. There's always an excuse.
I made also a happy birthday edition of this with it also with its almost 125,000 views on YouTube already. And then I made one with a Merry Christmas, and the interesting thing is I didn't change the mouth. It's fitting. I don't know why. It's the exact same video with different lyrics.
And this one that we're watching now is for the media facade that they had. Yes. And this one actually came in second place against one from Desire, which Ramon was involved in. So that was an interesting thing. And this, for the people who don't know what this media facade is, can you explain a little bit?
Problem is we don't look at the projection at the moment. We could look at the video I submitted to the projection. So the problem is now no one sees the windows in front and something like this. It's the wrong video we're looking at. But okay.
Can we easily find the other one? Because I mean, I can play the proper version.
I have to look at it. I think it's only on Vimeo.
Okay. Take him in peace.
Vimeo. Ding.
Live projection. I have the link. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me pause this. Let me load this. Real-time fixing. Add to playlist. Take him in peace. Play. There we go.
Yeah, it was my third entry at the media facade. At the first time I won because I had the only entry that was using 3D space. So it was, and the first one was I don't know if you saw it, with water, and it was some of the, I think, the cool stuff, and the next one was very experimental, and this is the third style. I can imagine it's a funny one, and now there cannot be any entries for me because I don't have any ideas left for this. Yeah, it's very dark. Okay, but it's the main idea is to interact with the 3D room they have in this building. And after 3 years, I think I saw the building was 100 meters away from my hotel at Revision, so I visited, but at the day, and I didn't saw the projection, but yeah, it's nice to do something for this stuff, but yeah, now other people can do it.
Do they still have the compo every year, or?
Yeah, I think last year they cancelled this because there were no entries, or this year, I don't know. Yeah, I think this year it was cancelled. I animated this in Tool, by the way.
Tool.io, the stills tool?
Yeah, stills tool. Tool. Yeah, there's the crashing car. It's it's funny that.
Okay, so it's nice to see demos made for different platforms, and we have one more. Oh, this is a quick one. It's called Hard Boiled, which is an ode to a Demoscene classic.
Yes, I wanted. This should have been at Revision 2011. I didn't go to the party. I don't know why. And today I think, you should entry it at the animation compo, but no, nobody saw this demo. It's at Poet, but I only have 6 or 7
views.
Yeah.
Thumbs.
Yeah. And I think it would have been very funny to show on the big screen, but now it's gone. And I had to rewrite the whole soundtrack for this. This was very interesting. I didn't want to rip the soundtrack, so I had to rewrite it.
Yeah. Remember to respect the copyright, people.
Yes.
Okay, and we were talking about Tool. So you started using the Tool a bit more.
Yeah.
And this was one of the demos that you made with it. It's called Alphabet. And I really like this demo. It's funny. It gives you some insight into Demoscene stuff. So what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I was since the first time I stumbled upon Tool, I want to have it, and Pixter was is always a great inspiration for me. And then they gave the a workshop at the first deadline, I think, and I traveled to deadline only to participate in the workshop because I was so excited using Tool. And then I bought a PC only to use Tool because I have Macs at home, and then I started fiddling around with Tool, and this one was planned for Revision. But I remember working on it in January, I think, and I thought, okay, there are 26 chars in this. I have to do every weekend 2 to 3 to finish this in time, and it was not possible. It was absolutely not possible. So I worked on it through the whole year. I made an entry for Tokyo Demo Fest at the time. I made some for Nordlicht, and this was always between it, and I always worked on this one and finished it for Evoke. And but it was the first demo I worked on in Tool. The animation of the R of the Amiga was the first thing I ever did in Tool.
So and, how hard is to use Tool's Stills tool? Is it was it easy to understand? Do you really need a workshop? Can you figure it out using just YouTube videos that they have, or?
No, Pixter was very helpful and answered all my questions on the chat, and yeah, it was okay. I think it's very intuitive, and the UI design is very good, so it's okay to use it. This alphabet was completely animated. I didn't code anything in this, and so it's really nice.
I was gonna ask you if you do any shader stuff at all, or if
No.
it's all just simple shapes and animations on.
Yeah, it's only animations.
Okay.
I coded in my life only ActionScript 3 for Flash for about 10 years of my life, and sometimes I lost the interest in coding stuff. So I wanted to learn how is it called? 3.s or something like that. This the
3JS.
engine. Yeah, that's something like this, and but I start and immediately stop after a few days because I cannot code anymore. I cannot see it. I coded a little bit with Tool, but I think nothing of it is incorporated in any of my demos with Tool. So,
Okay.
The Mesmerize, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, that I would I think everyone who want to do demos and cannot code should use Tool, because it's really interesting to work with it and to see what others are doing with it.
And this is your latest demo,
Yes.
which uses it's the new the groundbreaking platform on the demo scene,
Yes.
using the socks.
Yes, the socks.
And you really took it to another level from Evoke to Deadline.
Yeah, I'm one own category at the new Meteorics, which would be socks, and with only my entries or something like this. I don't know.
You've done 3 entries with socks so far, so are you planning more sock-based
No,
stuff?
I think I cannot use more socks anymore. This one was really interesting to make because the Deadline organizers didn't know I would make it. I surprised them with it because I always have an entry for Deadline, and I know I wouldn't go this year, but I wanted to do something, and I never did an invitation before, and it everything came together so logically with the concept and the 90s, and so I made it. But it was a lot of work. I want to do something little and small and easy,
And it becomes
always
big.
Ended up in this one, something like this. And I have to cover 8 songs and write new lyrics and sing them and make music and make a video about it. It's
People are asking on the chat how many sock operators did it take to do this? Was it you and your girlfriend?
It was me and my wife, yes. My wife, who already won at the last Evoke. She participates a few times in the demo scene. We did a few pictures together at Evoke, and
Okay, so it's a team effort.
yeah, and I have to say, the socks would not have been created. I was planning to do only music for the Evoke, and she asked two weeks before the part. She asked if I want to do a video, and then we brainstormed what would be the easiest way to make something in such short time. So we stumbled upon the idea of the socks. So it was, and then we created them in a very fast way.
Are those actually ping pong balls on the eyes, or?
No, this is, I think it's some foam work or something. You have the eyes, yeah. They did not move, but sometimes it seemed like they were moving on the socks. It was very funny to do this and to cover all the songs, and I wish I could make more, but there was no time left. I wanted to do 2 Unlimited or something like this, some trance. And,
2 Unlimited would be nice.
Yeah, next year.
Because you had to redo the sounds as well, like the music part, background. Yeah. So that was a
really
little more work.
To analyze music and wrote those short parts to fit to the original music, and then I had to sing, and my wife sang on this, and I remember in the Evoke version, we had a friend coming over, and I took him, and he had to sing on the lyrics because I needed another
another voice.
Yeah, so he was incorporated into it. Yeah.
So there are actually a lot of people in the Gaspode group. Just they're just nameless.
But only me and the 4 socks and my wife.
Okay, so does anyone on the chat have any questions for Gaspode? Now is the perfect time to ask them. If they are not, we will move on to the last guest that we have on today's show, because it's already getting late and people have work to do tomorrow. So Ramon, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight. You're also a very old school kind of guy. You started back in the 80s, or was it only 90s?
No, in the 80s on the 64. And then later, I think in 89, in 90, moved to the Amiga.
Well, what groups were you on in the early on? Was it Desire all along, or when did you form Desire?
No, I think I was in a very small group, a local group called The Lords. Very lame, but we couldn't find any better name. But I think that was only a few months, and then we met at the Prime party, Coyote and Guy Frost from Desire, and we decided just to join forces, and we became Desire as a group.
Okay, we are actually watching Vision Mega Demo. You said this was one of the demos that really made you want to do something. So what can you tell us about this demo in particular? Like, what memories does it bring to you?
So I lived nearby Facet and Hein of Vision. We lived in the same town, and the father of Facet, he had a monthly gathering. It's not like a demo party, it was just a hobby group where you could swap demos, but mostly just copying games, of course. But at that time, those guys, when we had that meeting, they were always working on this demo. And I had Deluxe Paint. I really wanted to become a graphician, but all the time when I saw pictures from Hein or from Facet, I really gave up. I said, I'm never able to do this.
They are too good.
They're way too good. It was very demotivating for me, so I gave up anything remotely to do pixels. I tried music, but I have no talent. I wanted to code, but I have no patience. So in the end,
you're mostly an organizer nowadays.
Yeah, what I noticed, what I'm best at is bringing people together, making them enthusiastic about ideas and concepts. But I need other people to do the work, and I can just take the credits for it.
That's an important role in the demo scene, because I mean, back in the days there was a lot of just roles of people just being group organizer and being swapper. You would have the swapper role. You would actually be an organizer, but that would be your main role in the group, would be to swap, to distribute your entries. And it's something that really would motivate and bring the group together, and especially for larger groups it became really important to have these organizer roles. And nowadays you don't really see it as much, or it becomes incorporated into the lead coder or the lead artist, or so it's interesting that it's still nowadays that we still have those kind of roles in the demo scene. Anyways, we're going to play one of the demos from Desire, which is called Menace, and this was back in 92, 94.
Yep.
So really old stuff. So when did you first what year was Desire formed?
I think we joined joined Desire, so Coyote and Guy Frost, in 1990.
Okay, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while indeed. I think this one is probably our best known demo from that time.
What parties did you attend at the time, or were you more of?
Of course, we had the Dutch party. So Prime from Mirage was organizing that. We had some parties in Belgium. I think TRSI was organizing that summer party, but I don't really know the name anymore. And of course, we went to Denmark to visit the party as well. Which was also a great time because from Holland we always wanted to bring some pot with us, and we also had to think of ways how we do that. So we actually had those markers, we opened them, removed everything there, put the pot in there, and brought them to Denmark. But when we wanted to smoke it, always the organizers came over and said, "Oh, you're not allowed to do this here, and you have to remove it, otherwise we will have problems." And it was always, every year it was the same thing.
So it became a tradition with the party.
Yeah.
From the stories I heard, the organizing team was very strict there, and it became also quite a big party. So I guess it's normal.
They had to, of course. It was correct. Me being older now, I'm more
aware of those things.
They made a good decision, but at the time it really sucked. We didn't like it.
Okay, let's take a look at another demo, which is Exile. So what can you tell us about Exile?
Exile is actually I think I took a break from Demoscene when actually the Amiga 1200 was introduced. And this was the last demo we did on an Amiga 500. I did most of the, I don't really call it design, but the flow and the concept of everything there. I was really involved in getting this done. We had some, because most of the coders always like to code and then they say, I can do this and I can do that. And then they show that they have the technique to do it. But then it just stays lying around. They don't use it in a demo, or they don't really make anything. For them, I show that I can do it. My job is done. I don't care about how it's being used. So I really took all of the effects that we had lying around, said, oh, if we put this together and do it like that. And so we actually, this one came together by a lot of old stuff that was still lying around. So that we're really going to use this. And actually, I think it turned out okay. The only thing I don't like about it, and I probably can tell you that secret now, but Faceit was always part of Desire, called Zoof. And we always used the graphics that he didn't want to, like this one, for example. We always took his graphics that he didn't really like for Energy or for Lemon, and we put them in the Desire stuff. Now I don't like
recycling.
It anymore. At that time, it was great to have somebody doing graphics for us. And
okay. I'm trying to think of things that I can ask you about those old days. How was the Dutch Amiga scene back then? How many groups were active?
I think we had a very active scene, and there was, I could say it's like a friendly competition. If you look at the demos from Jet Set, from Axis, from Vision, Royal Amiga Force, we always like to put some pun to each other, make some jokes about each other, which was nice. And actually, it's fun because we're very close nowadays. We have meetings in Holland, and then we sit together and look at these jokes we made about each other, and then we can actually laugh about it. At the time, it was like we felt a competition, and it's good because it stimulates people to do stuff. But it was in a fun way. Very good, and I think we had a good scene in Holland. Some good groups and stuff being done.
Were you mostly Amiga, or did you start branching out to other? I know that you ended up doing other demos for other platforms, but you never turned yourselves into a PC group per se, right?
At that time, it was only Amiga. Okay. We didn't do anything else. Nowadays, I like very much to try other stuff.
We have one DOS demo actually, and I think you said it was like the only DOS demo that Desire did, which was to announce your website or something.
Yeah, I think it was at the time when actually the internet became more known, and people started to create websites to promote their stuff. This was the only one we did in DOS to promote that we had a website. Actually, it was a very small thing that we did. I think it was for Bizarre Party in '79. So,
yeah, it says there Bizarre 97. Yeah. 97 it said.
97. Yeah, sorry, not that old. 97 indeed. And I think it was because nowadays the internet is very important for us to have to communicate. But at that time, it was only the first time we actually started using that, and of course RC and everything there, that was very important, becoming very important for our communication. So I didn't have to send out envelopes anymore with this.
How did the group change? I mean, was there any phase where you started putting in new group members? Is it mostly the people from before? How did that dynamic change through the years?
At that time, you had all kinds of headquarters. You had a German headquarter and a Dutch headquarter and a headquarters in Finland and everything like that. So we all had small groups, like subcategories or subgroups within Desire. But nowadays it's a big list of names of people that like to do stuff. It's not I don't see it anymore as a group. It's more like a label. If people like to do a demo and they like to put the Desire name on it, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Do you have like a centralized place where everyone talks, like a forum or a chat group or Facebook group, something like that, or how do you organize each other?
I think mostly actually it's done by Facebook. That's the easy way. A lot of people are there already. When we actually have a project, we often use Slack. I don't know if you know it, but it's a nice way to communicate and share stuff. Those are the two major tools, but there's also still RC chat or even email. It's like very old school still.
What can you tell us about this demo? It was for the GP2X, which is not a very known platform that people do stuff on.
I think probably Mali will hate me for this because I always root his IDs, but this was it was an ID by F Cycles. He wanted to do the demo on the GPX. We bought one. He was looking actually for, because he already had the music, but he was looking for graphics and some IDs. And I sometimes pimp out our graphicians like Alien, who's also in Titan and other groups, but sometimes I say, hey, we have a good graphician that can probably help you for this. And I think Mali did most of the 3D stuff here. So that there, and Luis was also, he just joined TRSI. So that's how it became 3 groups doing this demo.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to another demo, which is the Master Control Program, which was an Amiga demo but made in 2000. I'm not sure what year of 2000. Let me look it up real quick.
I think it's not that old. It's a few years old, probably.
Yeah.
This did we
2015 for assembly. 2015.
It came in second place after Decadence. They had also a very nice demo. Master Control, of course, if you know that, it's from Tron, the movie. And when we designed this, it was mostly done by Optic. We really had that feeling with this demo about that movie. So we moved on that concept. Let's make a Tron-like demo for Amiga. And I think especially also the music here by Serpent is really good. And everything really fits together. There's I don't know if you show that part, is that the face, the 3D face, which personally I found very amazing that we could pull it off on Amiga. The engine was already there. It was mostly again putting people together. So for the music and the graphics and the IDs.
You're a group organizer, so you should have more experience with this. How do you keep people motivated to keep doing stuff for the demo? Because I mean, it's a hobby, so not everyone has time. Real life comes in between. You're trying to make stuff, so how do you get a person that is always busy to, you know, do a demo again or to contribute to a demo again?
It's difficult because nobody really has time. We always approach this as a hobby. It's not work. So I don't like to put on deadlines, although it helps to get something done. Let's say we do a demo for revision, then it would be nice if we finish it for revision. But we try to not push it too much. Of course, life happens. Everybody is busy. But what you see happening, if you put the right people together and they have the same idea, they're willing to go the extra mile for each other. So the coders will work with the graphics that they get. They get enthusiastic by a good tune. So the music does a lot. And then if you have some good, talented graphics there, share ideas and things start flowing. Sometimes you have like a month that a lot happens, and then sometimes everything dies down. You have to bring some ideas, bring them together, and then it happens. I must say a lot of projects also fail, right? So you see, of course, the demos that we released, but I also have a whole list of demos that were never finished, where there's a lot of frustration of a graphic that's done a lot of work, but the coder gave up, or the coder is waiting forever to get some music, and that happens. Yeah. It sucks, but it's part of the game, I guess.
Yeah. Well, when you're a musician, you can always reuse the music for some other release or stuff like that. At least that's what I tell myself when the demos don't go forward.
This is music competition, of course, at the demo. I think it's the most fun to see it in an actual demo.
Sound4Sight is saying that you never have to wait for music. There are so many Demoscene musicians around. That's not quite true. I agree with the point, but yeah. Sometimes you want the specific sound, and it's hard to get that specific person to give you that specific sound the right moment that you want it.
It has to fit together, and also what I like as a team, you have to trust each other. At least there has to be a connection that you know that you're making something together where you all feel comfortable with.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the hardest challenge of working as a team, is making sure that there are no egos clashing and stuff like that really destroys the project. Because you can just make it frustrating, and then it's no longer fun to work on. I don't know what other questions to ask. I had another one, but I'm blanking out right now. So people on the chat, if you have any specific questions, feel free to ask. This demo that we're watching right now is for the Raspberry Pi. We had already seen it on the previous shows, but we play it again. It's pretty good, and it's there are not that many demos on Raspberry Pi, so it's good to see them, what the Raspberry Pi can do. NoXS is asking what musicians are in the Desire group right now, and he's counting Dascon, Trias, Virgil, NoXS, Subi. So yeah, there's always music is his conclusion. Maybe for Desire Productions that's true, but I don't know.
There are also a lot of Desire Productions, so we need a lot of musicians.
How much do you see it being different from the old ways of making demos? I mean, in the 90s, surely the process was different than nowadays. Do you think it's easier nowadays, or it's just different? Or harder?
I think it's different in the sense that you now have to think a lot more about design and how it all fits together. In the old days, it was sometimes just a show-off of coder capabilities with a lot of a Dutch color scheme, and Now it's not just code. The music has to be great, the graphics has to be good, and it has to flow. And then there's a lot more coming too. I think to be honest, when I'm working on a PC demo, it's a lot harder than working on some old hardware. Okay, let's show off that we can do this. I don't care what the theme is or what the music binds it together. Just do a coder show. But most of the new hardware, you really have to really think about: is there a theme? How does it connect? Does it sync well and everything like that? So it's different.
Yeah, definitely different. There are no questions on the chat. Okay, let's move on to the next demo that we have, which is the Texas Instruments demo. And this one really got a lot of positive feedback. Mostly because it was made on the calculator.
What I like best now to do is get people involved that are not actually really in the demo scene, because of course we have as a desire a team, which is great, doing a lot of stuff. But I also like to branch out to non-demo scene areas, and this actually was from a homebrew group on the Texas Instruments. There were no real demos there, so we actually introduced. So I tried to find some coders. They were mostly making games, and I tried to talk to them, saying, "Guys, why don't you make demos for the Texas Instruments?" Well, of course, they knew the concept, but they never really thought about doing a demo. And then I brought the entire group together, and as I mentioned, that Slack is very nice to do that. Then we had to find some graphicians to work on the old hardware. We had to find somebody that can do music there. So there was, I think this took us more than a year to get everything done and all the tools ready to do it. But it was great, and again, I really like it because it's not your usual demo sceners that are there. It's other people now having an interest in the demo scene, and that's still my favorite thing to do, is to get people from outside the demo scene involved.
Do you feel like it's harder nowadays to get people interested in the demo scene?
I think most people see a YouTube movie and they think, "Oh, I can do a movie like that myself." They don't realize it's all real-time coded. And that takes a lot of explaining to do the difference between a YouTube movie and seeing the demo on actual hardware. So you need to have people that have an interest in either old hardware or in either coding stuff. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Most of the people that I noticed are into graphics. They only do games mostly, or if they don't do games, they do what's called creative coding, which is just basically visuals for interactive installations and stuff like that. And there seems to be this great divide between the demo scene and those people, even though they do basically the same kind of stuff: programming graphics, real time, have stuff on the screen, looking nice. My question is, how do you bring those people into the demo scene? Do we really want to bringing them into the demo scene? Because there was a lot of discussions that we should outreach more and bring more, and then there are other people in the demo scene who say, if they are not interested, you know, fuck them. They don't need to come to the demo scene. We have fun on our own, and if they want to join, they're welcome. If they don't, it's just another scene. So what do you think about that?
I think it's for me, if they don't want to join, they don't want to join. We don't force anybody to do this, right? It's just for fun. However, doing a bit of an outreach is also good, showing that what is possible to do. What I do, for example, I teach children to code, although I don't code myself, but I try to get them involved. So I go to universities, explain them, and I often show them demos, not games, but show them demos. Okay, you can start with this and be creative and express yourself in a way that you like. And sometimes magic happens, and they like it. And if they are not interested, well, then they don't have to, of course. It's their choice. I'm fine, but I think doing some outreach is good for the scene itself as well, to keep it alive a bit.
I want to ask the other guests that we have, Citrus and Gaspode, what you guys think about outreach in the demo scene. Should we be pursuing it more, or it's fine to keep it underground?
After you.
Okay, so actually it depends. For example, at some places I think demo scene can live on its own, as for example, like as I already said, in Germany or Finland. But for Slovakia, I think we should get it more above the ground, because right now we are just two of us, as I said.
So underground that no one knows about it.
Yes. No, actually, people like recognize Demoscene, but nobody wants to be associated with Demoscene, because they think that, oh, I need to be like a hacker or something like that, or oh, you guys are cracking games, and I'm like, no, we are not doing that anymore. I have no idea if we still do that, but I think not. So basically, my opinion is that we should. It depends. It depends. It's really just
because a few years ago there was this movement in the demo scene to try to do more outreach, do more websites to do outreach, do actually sessions. Like there was this a few groups that were focused, or non-profit organizations that were created just to do outreach stuff, and some demo sceners were in favor of that and helped out and actually, you know, went for free to give talks about what is demo scene and stuff like that, or try to do books and things like that to promote scene a bit more. And there were a lot of other demo sceners who were completely against it. And I always found it a bit weird. I'm pro outreach. Nowadays I don't bother outreaching as much as I used to. When we were organizing Inertia back in 2000, we actually went to schools and give workshops and stuff like that. Nowadays I just don't care. I know I'm too old for that shit. I tried. Whoever picked it up, picked it up. Whoever didn't, you know, it's out of my hands now. Some other people will have to do the outreaching. But my point is, there were a lot of people who was saying that no, that being underground is what really gives us a sense of community and being special, and that we shouldn't be trying to force people who are into other stuff to try to join us. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I wanted to hear your opinions on this.
Well, I think on one hand, yes, this exclusivity inside the demo scene, because it's underground, it's something. It defines us, but the problem is that I don't want to say the demo scene is dying, because I think that word or that sentence was like said multiple times during the last 20 years, and hey, we are still here, but still the demo scene is declining, I would say. And we need to get some new blood inside the demo scene, I would say.
Yeah, Reptile is saying that he needs new blood. Yeah, you're a reptile, of course you need new blood. Your blood is too cold.
Yeah.
That was the bad joke of the day. What about you, Gaspode? What do you think about this topic?
I think it's always good to get new people into the scene, or new people bring new ideas and fresh ideas, and it's always nice. So I don't have a problem with it. But okay, I'm not the hardcore scener who wrote the right demos in 30 years, but no, I like it to get new ideas. It's always, I think. And yes, if we don't get new blood, the scene will die with us. So when we are 70 and sit together and talk about the demo days, then when we don't have new blood in the scene, then the scene will die, of course.
Yeah, so, I've heard those discussions so many times, and it seems like we're still doing the same number of demo parties. Some countries even have more demo parties than they ever had. Same number of releases. Some countries even have more releases than they ever had. So it's a weird debate. So,
but I don't understand why the scene is dying.
So whenever someone feels like retiring from the demo scene because it's too much work and they're not really getting the fun out of it that they were expecting. They always say that, okay, the scene is dying, peace out, drop the mic. And then everyone else comes back to them and says, no, it's not dying, I'm still here. Hello, how you doing? So, yeah.
I actually think people are retiring, but I also see a lot of people coming back. So a lot of old names that I knew from the Amiga days are contacting me saying, hey, I would like to do graphics again, or become active again in the demo scene, or visit a party, or just hang around. I also see that happening a lot, to be honest. So I don't think we're actually dying, but it is often the same group of people that are around, right? So it's if you look at who's at the party, if you've been there 3 or 4 times, you start recognizing almost everybody. So I see a lot of new blood, but it's also old people. So it's not like youngsters. I don't see a lot. I tried to get my son to code or do music, but he just wants to play Minecraft all day. I don't get into
Maybe he can do a demo in Minecraft. Tell him about that. Try to convince him.
There was an entry in Minecraft, I think, done by Virgil and Cons at Nordlicht 2014, I think. So it's possible to make something with it.
So yeah, I'm out of questions. I don't know if you guys want to talk about any topic in specific. We have a couple more demos on the playlist. We're done with the desired demos for today. We are back into the standard playlist of stuff from Deadline. So guys in the chat, if you have any specific questions or topic you would like us to talk about, please let us know. Otherwise, I guess I'm gonna start doing the final rounds with people. What are you guys working on next? Like, that is not secret. Citrus, you already talked a little bit about it. I don't know if you want to repeat yourself or not.
I'm sorry, I was...
What are you working on next?
Well, yes, I'm working on some 3D stuff, modeling, but I would like to keep this my secret.
Okay.
And
I won't tell anyone, and none of our currently 28 viewers watching will tell any of their friends either.
Yeah, basically, you know, the thing is that I would like to brag, but I don't want to brag anymore because I did that in the past, and now it
didn't go so well.
Darguy told me that I look like Pinky and Brain. Like, hey Brain, what are we going to do tonight? Oh, the same thing as every night, Pinky. Try to make a demo.
World domination.
Yeah. So this is why I don't want to talk about what I'm doing, because I want it to be like this
surprise.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good tactic as well. As long as you can keep yourself motivated, I guess that works. What about you, Gaspode? What are you working on next? What's your world domination plan?
My world domination plan? This year was a little bit complicated because I had to deal with a lot of illness and something, and I'm still dealing. So Evoke was my only party, and there were only SOC releases for the new SOC platform, which will dominate next year and kill the Amiga compo. And I had a lot of ideas, and I wanted to do a demo for Evoke and for Nordlicht, and I'm working on different stuff in Tool again. And I had some. I'm working on stop motion animation, but it's I stopped a few weeks ago, and I don't know if I come and finish it. But I have to, because my stop motion animation box is very big, and it stands in the living room and annoy my wife. So I think sometime I have to finish it, and
That's the best way to motivate yourself to get stuff finished. Put it in a place where your loved one will always remind you every single day that you need to get that shit out of there.
No, I think she is used to it, because for the pencil animation for revision 2012, I worked on it almost 7 weeks, and I was not working at the time, so I'm talking about 7 full weeks every day.
That's a lot.
Yes, so and this box was standing all the time on the table, and it's about I don't know, 80 centimeters by 60 by 60, so it's very big.
Maybe you could just rename your living room into an office, so it's not a living room, it's an office. And then it makes sense.
I hope to finish some of the tool stuff next year, but it's always a lot of work for me because it's only me, and I make the music too, and so I have about 3 or 4 musics all ready, and I need a brain to tool plug to create the demo with 1 click, and then it's ready. But
this is a question that I would like to ask you. You always seem to be doing demos alone, mostly.
Yes.
You already told us that sometimes your wife helps out with the brainstorming and with the implementation, but why do you choose to do stuff alone? You never found a group that you would like to participate with, or I don't know. Tell me about
it. In the beginning, it has to do with the fact that I didn't know anybody. I remember at revision 2012, I didn't talk to anybody. I was there 4 full days and know nothing. And
that's quite antisocial of you. Not even your table mates. Come on.
I'm not the type of guy who goes to the bonfire and sits with people he doesn't know and talk to them. It's a little weird.
Okay, so this is even a more important question. Why not? I'm not judging. I'm just trying to understand why some people do it and some people don't.
I don't know. I think it's weird to go to some people you don't know and talk to them.
You don't feel comfortable? I mean, you share the demo scene with them, so you have stuff to talk about. At least you can ask, you know, what are you doing for the party? Where are you from? Stuff like that. You're just shy.
I continue it with making Gaspode shirts for the next revisions, and so the people come to me and talk with me. So this was nicer for me.
Yeah, that also works.
I remember I think it was Evolve 2012, I think 12 or 13. There was Venom was a little bit wanted to talk to me, and we recognized that we were at the same party, and so we met, and he took me and
gave you a tour
to a lot of guys, and so this was my start to meet people. So it's all for Venom, and this is one of the reasons I always make an entry for Deadline, because to give him something back for this.
Okay, that's a nice story.
I didn't remember. You asked why I'm making all by myself. You said a few minutes or hours ago that it's could be a problem if you work with a group and you have to
manage egos and times.
Yeah. And I think it has to do with the fact that I work in a at the work I have to do compromises all the time with my designs. I'm a web designer, and so I have to compromise all the way with my with the clients and with the other people. And so I think the demo scene is something where I can go my own way and don't have to make compromises. But on the other side, I have to do anything for myself.
Then you have to do everything. Yeah, I have that same problem. When I really want to have my own vision, then it becomes hard to bring other people in, because you want them to do specific stuff, and it's usually harder.
Perhaps I think I can. Perhaps I have a future demo with some music by some other guy than me, because I had one demo I'm making already, and I'm not sure if I can make the music good enough. So perhaps there's something. But on the motion stuff is always better if you do it alone, because no one is so crazy to do something like this. it's too much work.
I guess. Okay, so Ramon, what's up with Desire? What are your plans for world domination? What are you guys working on?
We have a lot of projects going on, but I already told you that many of those projects all never get finished. I think I promised Mali that we would do something for the demo bit party. So
you should.
That's on my list. Yeah, I know. There's nothing really that I can talk about which is concrete enough to say it's not brag, but to explain. But I have some things going on, but I don't know when they will be finished. And as I said, I don't really put deadlines for myself. So
okay. Well, what about? Go on.
That's
yeah. You're finished? Okay. So what parties are you guys planning next? Citrus already mentioned Demobit. That's up in February. Any other demo parties before that any of you are planning to visit?
I'm not really sure if there's anything we're planning for right now. I do hope to visit, but that's a long way still. X, the party in Holland, the 64 party, and I'm kind of looking forward to go to Revision. For me, that's still the
highlights.
The party to be there. You know.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to Revision next year as well. What about you? Or what about for you, Gaspode? What's your next party that you have in mind?
Yeah, I hope to make it to Revision next year. I had to cancel this year. This was really hard, but I didn't had the time to make something, so I don't want to
visit without a production
and have no entry, and so I have to skip it. And yeah, I think Revision is the next party, and I hope that I have something for the PC demo compo, because the PC demo compo at Revision is very hard. And yeah, I'm glad if I make it under the first 10 or something like this.
I'm worried on how many entries we will have at next Revision, because everyone seems to be aiming for Revision.
I think there were only 4 PC and 40 or 60 4K, I think, something like this.
Yeah, 4K will be big again, I guess.
Yeah, I'm expecting a very high quality 4K compo as well. I think that's it for today's episode of Mystery Demoscene Theater 9000. I want to thank everyone for joining, the guys on the chat, our guests, Citrus, Gaspode, and Ramon, and of course the supporters from Patreon, Garfield, Puncture, Jeff, Poljan, Popkit, Jakub, Pamulski, El Topo, guys from Fulcrum, and Pixel Nerve. We have 2 new sponsors since a couple weeks ago, which was great. We also got a lot of good positive feedback on our previous show with US guys. I hope this episode will also have some good feedback. I think it went rather well. What do you guys think? Did you like it? Was it good? Was it nice? Did you have fun? I hope so.
Yes.
So that's what matters. So thank you everybody for joining. See you again next time in 2 weeks. If you guys have any suggestions of people who we should interview, please send me an email of their contacts so I can poke them and see if they would like to indeed be on the show. So bye bye everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.